there, viewers. Welcome back then to the episode I assume you've all been waiting for. It is the transfer day of all days. We've brought in a mass amount of players, but we've got rid of an unbelievable amount of players. I don't think I've ever moved on this many players in a single window in my entire life. Let's introduce you to who's left, and also say goodbye to who's left, and introduce you to the new boys. There's some exciting players in this team. Right, we're going to start with the out column, okay? There is £107 million being brought in. People will be interested immediately when they hear that. 122 million in the balance sheet. So we've kept things pretty even, all things considered, after the very start of the window. I've not spent a huge amount of money, to be honest, and with that in mind, I've brought in a lot, so financially, we're looking very... FFP is going to be fine, viewers. That's the moral of the story. So let's have a look at who's left for major money. Of course, some of these we looked at last episode then. So Callum O'Hare's gone, £23 million for him. Zeka's gone to Brighton. Turavest has gone to Watford for 16.5 million. Iheanacho to Bristol City for 12. Bowler for 9.25. Lunnon's gone to Everton. Wes Harding has left. Berisha has left. Diego Carlos has left. Loads of players have left. Some of which you won't even recognise. And Josh Earl, who was playing left back in the Premier League for me last year, has also gone out on loan to Villarreal, because we've changed things up a little bit here at Aston Villa. We've done brilliantly, I think, to get 107 million. I think the standout deals for me, O'Hare, you can't look past really. 23 million for him. He's not a 23 million pound player in my opinion anyway. And Zeka at 31 years of age to go to Brighton, again, sensational. But we're not here for the outs really, are we, viewers? We're here to see the new additions, who's been brought in. So we're going to do things in chronological order, and this man is who we've brought in first. I know what you're thinking. Isn't he a Premier League player? Yes, he is. Josep Hurtado, who we've brought in from Liverpool, this is pretty ridiculous. And the reason it's ridiculous is the history of him. 22 years of age. You might think, Ben, how have you managed to get a player like this on loan? No, don't care. He's here now for the season, paying him 30 grand a week. It's not bad. Liverpool signed him for £60 million and have played him in the Premier League a total of 26 times. But after loaning him out to Leicester in the Championship and Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, he's not really clicked back in this Liverpool side. And we, Aston Villa in the Championship, have now picked him up for the season as a 30 grand a week. It's not bad. He's a very, very complete midfielder, viewers, it's fair to say. He's got a little bit of everything. Mentals, there's a few there that maybe could be slightly better, but 16 passing, great technique, great first touch, balance is there, strength, 6 foot, everything you could want in a Spanish midfielder, really. And plays for me now, 18 vision as well. He's got contacts in, viewers. All right, next up was Carl Skinner. Now, Carl Skinner not had much of a pre-season, so struggled a little bit in terms of fitness, and will definitely be a backup player off the bench for us. 4.4 million is the total costing though on it, and he scored goals in the Championship before, 13 for Reading a couple of years ago. Brought in from Southampton. I do think dribbling's very good, very pacey as well. Balance is lacking a little bit. Good strength though at 6'1". He's not a player that's going to start games for me, but if we need a goal to bring a player off the bench, I think he might be that guy. 7 work rate, 8 passing, not so much a team player, but again, impact off the bench, decent enough finishing, so good dribbling on the ball, composure's decent too, and yeah, I think we've got ourselves a decent left-footed player that will play maybe on the left wing occasionally as well if needs be, but the good striker. Pleased with this a lot, and hopefully he stays fit. Now, the next transfer we made was Paolo Riva, 23-year-old Italian. You're probably wondering, how much have we spent on him? Free. That's right, free transfer. He's got an interesting history actually. He spent a lot of time at Atalanta where he didn't really cut the mustard. Played a little bit in the early years, got 4 goals in 7, 3 in 6 in Serie A. So looked like a really hot prospect early on. And after being loaned out in Serie B, didn't really put in the season that you'd expect. Had a loan at Spal last year, of course, a former club of mine on this channel. And now we pick him up on a free from Atalanta. And I do think we've got ourselves a fantastic player. That attacking midfield role is a role I'm going to use a lot this year in a couple of different systems, I think. And he fits the bill for that perfectly. Great first touch, heading, long shots are very good as well. Teamwork's fantastic, great balance, strength and stamina. 5'11", right-footed as well, with a little bit of potential to still grow too. We've got ourselves one hell of a player on a free transfer, 21 grand a week as well. I like it a lot. I think it's a great Championship addition. I'd be happy with him in the Prem, honestly. Now, next up, striker-wise, we don't have a huge amount of options. Of course, we've got Jardkins, the 6'8" monster, who I'm going to loan out for a year. He's really not ready to play at this level. So Raymond Lemons is how I think you would say it. 26-year-old Dutchman, not being capped internationally, but on 27 grand a week to be a rotation player. You might think that's a lot of money, but I think 6'6", complete forward, can finish, great first touch, free kick taking's good as well. Got a really good jumping reach, agility, acceleration, great strength length for someone that tall. The decision making as well, very good. I wish his passing was slightly better, so he could maybe link up play a little bit better than he will do. But yeah, left footed, as I say, 6'6", comes deep to get the ball. Hopefully links up the play from the forward areas, and a great option off the bench. Ryan Brewster is probably going to be our main man this year up front, but I want a couple of options. You've seen Carl Skinner, and now you've seen Raymond Lemons, and I assume it said Lemons. If it's not, I'm sorry. Okay, viewers, next up we've got Lloyd Morgan, a player I'm very, very excited to have at right back. There's one position where we had quite a lot of players at right back, but none of which that really cut the mustard. Just saw a couple of guys sold for a few £1 million each, and really that meant we had to bring someone in. 17 crossing, I've got to say, it did stand out. Very, very quick as well. Fantastic mentals for a 19-year-old, and 12 marking, 12 tackling. I expect he'll develop under me as well. I think he'll be a really good addition. He's the sort of player that if we are to be promoted this year, I would love to get him back again next year and have him in the Premier League. But yeah, as I say, great crossing ability, which could be really useful with that 6'6" guy if we end up playing him. But physically, as I say, very, very good. And the mentals are really good. Teamwork, leadership, determination, decision-making, anticipation and bravery aren't too bad either, as well as concentration. For a 19-year-old, I think they're all really good attributes. I wish his work rate was maybe a 15, 16, but whatever, we'll take it. I say 19 years of age, hasn't featured a massive amount for Chelsea. I think he played a couple of cup games, did he, at some point? No, in 1 year, apparently he played 81 games non-competitively. That's a lot of games, viewers. That's a lot of games. Had a loan spell at Notts County last year in the Championship and did okay. Got a couple of goals and some assists to his name, and I think he's probably developed a little bit there. And now we've got him with us. I'm excited. The next one then, goalkeeper Christopher Dugard. The goal. Right, the goal bit's not in his name, but he's called the guard. The goalkeeper is called the guard. He's going to guard the goal. Guard the goal. He's not Spanish. He's from Denmark, viewers, and I do it in a Spanish accent for no reason at all. Christophe de Gaulle. It's becoming, maybe that's more Italian actually. I'm thinking, or French, maybe. Christophe de Gaulle. Yeah, that's probably it. De Gaulle. So hopefully he will be guarding the goal. 7 caps internationally, Danish international, and yeah, very, very happy to have brought him in. £8 million, quite a big outlay for us considering we've just been relegated to the Championship. But with Linen going, we had the money to spend in that position. I wanted to strengthen it well. 3.5-star current ability, apparently, with a little bit of potential to go into that as well. Very good handling. One-on-ones is good too. Reflexes, throwing, command of area is decent as well. Kicking, maybe not what we'd quite like it to be, but great concentration, great positioning, determination, vision's very good as well. So maybe while he lacks it in kicking, his vision to pick out a pass maybe quickly from the break might be worth looking at as well. So Christophe Dugard de Gaulle is in the team, and I've not signed him for the name. Okay, before you leave your comment. Now, this transfer is the most interesting. I shared a screenshot of this guy on Twitter. I didn't reveal his name or anything like that, or who he was, because you'd be able to search him up. But Batista Mendy, as a centre-back, I think it's a great signing, although some people have left me with a bit of doubt. Some people said, what I basically did was I tweeted out the picture and said, how much do you think he's worth? You get some people saying 35, 40 million, and others going, I wouldn't spend 5 million on him, mate. Don't just get free transfers, which I have done as well, by the way. But Batista Mendy, 26-year-old French player, never capped for the youth side, never capped internationally. We may well change that. 4-star current ability, heading, marking, tackling, all fantastic, decent passing too, physically very good, mentally looks quite strong, and has cost me quite a big amount. 15.75 million for a Championship team. It's quite a lot to spend. But you've seen we got some big money for some big players, and you've seen the balance sheets as well. 122 million. We're about where we were before the window even started, it feels like. So look, I think he's going to be a really good player. For those that are confused why he hasn't played for 7 years, I didn't have France loaded in for ages because I was too low down to have the French national leagues put in there, but now they are. You can see, look, I think we've got a good player. He's had 2 average seasons playing for Nantes, and I think in this division now he's dropped down a tier in terms of football, but probably quality of football maybe risen up a little bit. He's the big question mark this year. If he's good, if he's fantastic, our season will be fantastic, and I think he's got all the attributes that I like in a centre-back defender who can also ball play a little bit. I guess we'll have to find out as we go through the season. And finally, the most controversial signing, I think, maybe actually of the window for me is Iker Gudmundsson. I've said the first bit wrong. I don't know, do I? It's called Eric. They've popped the eye and they've gone, why have you done that? Eric, yeah, that'll do. Now, you've just seen, we've brought in an attacking midfielder. We've already got Gareth Hanna, and now we've got Gudmundsson. And this was the kind of transfer I don't think I could turn down. It was too good to be true, but on £51,000 a week, I have broken what I said at the start of this transfer window, that we would make sure nobody was over that. But when this sort of player comes along, in my opinion, fantastic free kick taking, passing's there, technique's there, great corner taker as well, great decision making, anticipation, aggression, very, very quick as well off the mark, vision's very good too, and probably got a little bit of room to manoeuvre and improve, remember. He's not bad for a free transfer. Juventus let him go, and I think based on the fact he's free, look, I'm not going to lie to you as well, he's got a release fee, 21.5 million. If a team don't come in at the end of the year and like bite my hand off for him, I'll be very, very surprised. We'll see how much he features in this side. We've got an interesting dynamic now with these three central attacking midfielders on how we use them. Do we use them all at once or not? That's the big question. Something you may have noticed, by the way, that's the end of the ins. Tony's still here. Mr. Right on the left is still here. Now, it's worth noting the transfer window isn't quite done yet. And Tony Wright, who on paper is our best player in terms of things like current ability, although that lad from Liverpool is probably going to push him all the way, so far hasn't left. Still has the release fee, the relegation release fee of 42 million. And we've had bids of 33 from Sheffield United. Whether a team hit that with the sort of the last week of the window, we'll have to find out. But in terms of my business, I feel like we're pretty much done. There's a few players still to move out. There's still one position in which I'm trying to improve, and you'll see that when I look at the team in a minute and I'll introduce you to the players that are hopefully going to join. Maybe give me some feedback on who you think is the best option of the two that I've got lined up. But yeah, you can see there then 170 million brought, 107 million brought in, 31.5 spent. It's not a lot, but I think in terms of the quality of player that we've got, we should be bouncing back out of this division. You look at the season preview, there's a host of players there that play for us that are in there, and now we are second favourite. I think I showed it a while ago that we were fourth favourite. We've moved up a little bit. I think our new players surely are going to do wonderful things. I guess we're going to find out together, aren't we? And speaking of that, then we are going to play our first game, Sunderland at home. Pre-season's gone quite well, and let's introduce you then to the look of the team for this first game. It's a bit odd. So because our pre-season's been a little bit brutal, a few players have picked up injuries, a few players not really fit enough to play, Gareth Hanna, Tony Wright in that list. This is how the team then looks for this opening game. De Gard will be in goal. We'll have Morgan, the lad from Chelsea, at right back. I should have sold him purely based on the fact I can't say his name. Haglar Sonucha, probably. I want to call him CS because it's just easy. This is bad, isn't it? You can't just call a player CS, but I am doing. Right, so CS and Mendy will be at the back. Hurst will be at left back, of course. Had a loan spell at Exeter last year, has come back in. He was one of the players that really attracted me to join the club in the first place. The fact we had this guy at 21 who could be at this club for a very long time, playing this particular position. I like him a lot. Jack Hurst, welcome back to the team. In central midfield, McGinn still with us. John McGinn, the final year of his contract, next to Hurtado, who I think could be, I think we've mentioned it, could be like the player of the year. He might win the Ballon d'Or, viewers. That's how good he is. And then further ahead, Sisto on the right-hand side is our only option on that right-hand side, which is not ideal. And that brings me then to the two players that we're considering bringing in. So if you look at the in column, you can see two names, 28-year-old lad from Lyon and 21-year-old guy from PSV, Norwegian. We'll start with him, actually. Now, this player we would be buying from PSV. You can see it there, 4.1 million on £31,000 a week. And he would be our player. He would play basically a backup player to Sisto, although could maybe push him for a start at some point. And yeah, as I say, could end up being our player. We would have him full-time as ours. But the option there, viewers, is whether we loan Guillaume Lamy for the year from Lyon. Very, very quick. Mentals are pretty good as well. A more experienced player, it must be said. And to loan him for the season and then maybe get someone even better than Sisto going into next year, it's probably my preferred route. Like, to have him on loan, I think that would be a real coup for us. 64 grand a month is not that massive amount of money. And between the two of them, we should probably compare them, actually. You can see there's pros and cons on either side. Of course, you're getting a more complete, probably, player with the older Lamy, whereas Eric on that side, a little bit quicker, maybe off the mark. I mean, he's got a better natural fitness. There's things I really like about him. A little bit more flair going forward, dribbling slightly better, technique is slightly better. It's a bit of a toss-up. So in the comment section, viewers, Lamy or Eric, because the second bit is... Some of those letters aren't on my keyboard, viewers. Let me know what you think then, as Sisto, though, is going to start this game. And then we'll continue with the team then. We've got River, of course. Paulo River is going to play behind Brewster, who I've moved just across to that side. And because Tony Wright's not fit to play this first game, Gudmundsson's going to play out on that left-hand side as our new player. Not really fit enough to play, to be honest, but we're going to risk him in this first game. We've got options off the bench. Onima's still here. Adkins is still here. Esposito is still here. Kyo Acosta, who's come back after a loan spell, is going to be one of our young centre-backs who might get a chance here and there. And Pierre Schurz, that's the big shock for me. Still here at the club. But yeah, I think in terms of backup options, we're not going to get better than him. So that's why he's still here, really. All right, that was a lot of information to take in. I'm still going to bring you a game because I think you deserve it after listening to all of that. So let's go through it then. Team selection-wise, we know what we're working with now. Sisto struggling for a bit of fitness, but we should be okay. They all need numbers, god damn it. Right, the guard gets number 1. Of course he flipping does. And then a lot of these guys are players who are on the bench. Gudmundsson, do I give him number 10? Give him number 10. Go on. There'll be a few players in my squad, don't get me wrong, that you aren't fully familiar with. We'll go through them at a later date. We don't need to do it right now. Sunderland then are the team we're coming up against, and it stands out straight away. They've got Dominic Solanke up front, a player I'm sure we're all familiar with. All right, then it's the opening day of the Championship season. Aston Villa versus Sunderland. Can we kick things off with a win? The new era of Aston Villa in the Championship starts now under my Premiership. Let's see if we can get to the formerly named Premiership. It's a free kick early, though, for Sunderland, and the guard's the goal brilliantly already. I mean, he's living up to his name, viewers. Yes, we know it's not. It never goes in when we see these replays. Have you ever seen it just over the line? Ask yourself. You haven't, have you? Free kick, Gudmundsson from miles away, goes for it over the bar. I've brought in some quite good set-piece takers over the course of this window as well. Of course, early stages in this season, if the first 5 games don't quite go to plan, I'm almost expecting that. These players need to gel with one another, need to figure out the system as well. We're not even playing our preferred system with Wright on that left-hand side, of course. So as we get towards half-time, I don't necessarily think just not losing this first game would be a travesty. Sisto, though, I noticed there, is already struggling a little bit with the old fitness. Maybe we'll bring both right wingers in. Who knows? I'm going to say I'm far from pleased, though. I want to set expectations quite high as Sisto with his injury. I don't really know what the solution is here. I'm going to bring Lemons on and do something I didn't think I'd be doing this game and playing this formation. Complete forward attack next to Ryan Brewster. We'll see how these boys get on. 3 players now looking to attack further. And yeah, the midfield has become maybe a little bit hectic, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully our fullbacks get forward and bomb on a little bit. I'm going to play a little bit less narrow as well, with that in mind. I don't want us to be so central focused. All right, there's a chance here maybe because Sunderland had a throw-in deep in their half. For Solanke's touch is fantastic. We need to get close to them really and win this ball back and maybe start an attack of our own. But Sunderland so far looking decent. It's not, like, as I say many times, viewers, you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. And for some of these boys, they might not get the opportunity to have another impression if this one goes badly. As Sunderland are, I'm not going to lie, viewers, I use the phrase stallying right now. Our press is pretty good as it goes all the way back to their goalkeeper. The kick forward is a little bit hopeful. Mendy gets under it though, and now Gudmundsson's got runners ahead of him. Lemons is there, the big 6'6" tank of a man. As Hurst now, can he get the ball into the centre? It falls to River on the edge. Oh goodness me, what a finish! Paulo Riva with the goal. Which of these attacking midfielders is going to stand out? Will it be Gareth Hanna? Will it be Riva? Or will it be Gudmundsson? One of them has to, right? Maybe all 3. Who knows? Let's watch it again in 3 dimensions. Hurst. First time we're seeing him in a Villa shirt as well. Down that left-hand side. A little bit lucky with the cross. And Reva's left-footed finish is sublime. So far, so good, viewers. You know, feeling pretty confident. It's 1-1. Well, confidence is gone. I mean, I'm a shadow of my former self sat here now. I mean, they just play quite a simple ball, which is a little bit worrying. And Solanke, it's a good first touch, I think. And, yeah, I say a good first touch. It's the finish. So, yeah, that will be good if it goes in. A little bit slack from us, if I'm honest. And actually, out of the 2 sides, from watching the highlights from this game, so far, I would say Sunderland are the most likely to win it, as Degard the goal with a lovely bit of business. What's his business, you ask? Saves. Either side. He's got it all. All right, as the home side, we're going to play slightly more positively in this second half. I want to see a bit more from maybe Gudmundsson. We've not seen a massive amount out of him so far. As he's on the ball now, maybe got a chance to shine as... What's happened over off the ball? There's a red card. Absolute carnage down here. They've had a man sent off. I don't know what happened. There was some sort of bust-up, though, as they've now got a free kick as... He's not regarded the goal at all there. Melvin Peters has scored, and what a mad 2 minutes of action. They've had a sending off for an off-the-ball incident. We've obviously lost our heads, viewers. There's been an incident. I don't know what's happened. We need to go back and look at this red card. I feel like for the benefit of all of us. All right, what happens here? Something between these 2 kicks off. He gets sent off there. What does he do? Just sticks a... That is... I mean, no wonder we're fuming. He's just gone for him. You can't be doing that. Rightly sent off. He's even doing the old dive thing. Get off this football pitch. We're 2-1 down as well. I'm livid. Deary me. Sunderland should be ashamed of themselves, frankly. Onimer's going to come on in the centre just because he's not on a booking. So that's an advantage to bring him on, I think. As we may have a chance here, actually. Morgan plays it into Riva. McGinn now with a chance from distance. Lovely ball out to Hurst. Can he get it back into the centre? Surely he can. Goes behind for a corner. So I'll take a draw here, but losing to Sunderland on the opening day. 10 men Sunderland. I'm not having that. We're going to go slightly more direct. We've got a 6'6" striker up front, for heaven's sake. Knockdowns, boys. Knockdowns. Think about it. All right, chance for us. I mean, beautiful ball to Riva from Lemans, who's come on and is already dropping deep. Morgan, ball back into him. Finish it. Oh, my goodness me. I mean, what have we just watched with our eyes? I mean, everything. Technically, we're always watching it with our eyes, aren't we? Corner played in to Bruce, to back post. Referee, that's a free kick to them. Bollocks. I feel like we can win this. Oh, flipping heck. I was going to say I feel like we can win it. I feel like if we got a goal there, then, you know, final few minutes, put in a massive amounts of pressure on. If they score again, he doesn't discard the goal. We've picked, oh, maybe it was the name that sold it to me. Solanke with his second of the season. Second of the game view, his first game of the season, isn't it? And it's not the most perfect of starts. Whatever you were going to write in the comments about my brilliant transfer window, that has all been undone with this one performance. I do think we'll be a different outfit when Wright's on the left, and all of a sudden we're playing that 4-2-3-1 that we're trying to perfect a little bit. But this isn't. You never get a second chance to make a good first impression, and these players are a disgrace. I mean, it's too late with her, mate. It's too good monster, mate. It's too late. It's too late. Just give up. Give up, okay? Rarely will I say this in a game. Keep yourselves fit for the next one, because you've not even tried in this one, frankly. Aston Villa 1, Sunderland 3. You've undone all my good work in the window. I'm ashamed of you all. All right, passionately say, what? No. Assertively say, I'm far from pleased, and hopefully they realise the damage that they've caused. There's a week to go in the window. Of course, we'll have to see what happens next time we meet. I'm sure we may make another change here and there, but it's not a good start for us. Ordinkin have been absolutely battered. Hopefully Boston lost as well, otherwise they've won 2-0, they're third. Okay then, that's going to bring us to the end of this particular video. Sisto's out for 11 days with a gashed lower leg, and I'll see you again soon. Let me know, though, comment section, fill it up with thoughts, and with love with care from Let's Mention. Until next time, goodbye. That's not gone to plan, has it? Now I look like an absolute fool. Jesus. What are you doing here? I'm here for the transfer news. We've done all that. That's done. We're not doing much more. So I shouldn't have come. No, you shouldn't have bothered. Can I present, the general news? No, absolutely not. Not necessary. Oh no, I see. No, it's. And where have you been anyway? We're so far into the series. Well, the Boston series. Or... It's another chapter of the series, I'll have you know. God damn it. Can I at least come in and sit down? Yes, of course. Come in, sit down. Smaller than I thought, I've got to say.